Hey guys, it's day 14 with Black Canary, one of my favorite DC characters of all time. And yeah, I just really love how much she could just so major kick ass, and her powers are pretty neat too. So I really wanted to capture her powers, so I wanted some kind of forward, strong pose, and then, obviously her screaming. And I thought I was actually going to struggle more with the open mouth than I did, but like, when I was drawing it, it was the first try, and I'm like, oh, well, this actually isn't that bad. I'll keep this. But in the process, her head actually ended up being too large for the body that I drew initially, so I didn't want to erase the entire body and then redraw it completely. So I erased like bits and pieces and changed them a little bit at a time, so I could still kind of help myself in keeping the pose and screwing up less, I feel, than if I would have otherwise, had I otherwise. Anyway, I did struggle quite a bit in picking the colors for her hair. Just, I've always, again, I've mentioned this several times, I think, have issues with yellows and greens, and I don't know why. And I've, like, started to hear, oh, use purples with yellows, and I've tried that a couple times, just mixing them by myself. And sometimes, yeah, I can get it to work. Again, no fault to the advice. I've seen it work, but it's just I don't know how to do it yet, and I didn't want to just plop down colors on her hair and hope for the best. So I kept playing with. I should probably show you guys my paper when this is all said and done, because there's just streaks of color everywhere of just me testing out mixing colors. But anyway, I ended up going with some earth tones, and where's my sheet? I ended up using quite a bit of earth tones and a blue violet as well, and I think it worked out rather well. I'm not sure if I would use the blue violet again, just because when I put in the lightest yellow, the Y13, it kind of blended a bit together and turned out to be a little bit green, so I had to kind of go over that again. But it was still kind of, I mean, it looks like she's got that natural blonde hair look, despite that it's a wig. Anyway. I wish I did her jacket a bit better, though. I tried to use some, like, I don't know, just the highlighted, like the lightest part of the blue just isn't as bright as I wanted. So I tried to keep getting the darks darker, but then they looked way too dark. So when I went over it again, it just kind of mudded together, and it just wasn't what I initially had in mind. But it's not all that noticeable in the end drawing. So that's good. And it wasn't until after I scanned in the picture that I realized I forgot her lipstick. And I was like, well, maybe I could just add it really quick and then, but given the previous incident, I was a little worried to do so, and I am pretty happy with this drawing. Like, I really like this drawing, and I didn't want to screw it up. So that didn't end up happening, but I'll probably have to do some like test ones later where it's like okay to screw up on those. Because I mean, yeah, this is still practice and it's still a challenge, and I'm supposed to be experimenting and pushing myself, which I have been, but I don't want to like do something that I really am unsure if it's going to work or not, and so I'd rather just have that be a specifically, purposely, like, I can mess this up sort of drawing. And the background colors, I actually got the color scheme idea from a Google image search of Black Canary, and I saw one of the pictures on there had this nice like peachy color fading to a purple, and it looked really pretty and really cool, and it worked really well with the picture. I wasn't 100% sure if it would work with mine, just because the mood's a bit different since she's like angry and using her powers, and the colors are very bright and happy, but I think it works. I think it still looks nice and everything. So I'm happy I went that route as well. Now for her powers, I think I went a bit overboard with it, but it was too much fun. I had way too much fun with it. So I'm using the colorless blender, but you could just use alcohol or I think nail polish remover, which is basically kind of like an alcohol. It's what I've talked about it before in a couple of the previous pieces, I think, with Storm and Loki, where the alcohol pushes the inks away and kind of leaves this cloudy, blotchy, lighter colored area. So the more and more you go over it, the more and more it pushes it. And so that had a really cool effect, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. I think the biggest downside, and what Alex pointed out, which I agreed with, was that I kind of messed up with the gel pen, and I wanted to do like a quick swoop sort of thing, so there's like a one singular gel pen line just to help emphasize the powers thing, but I ended up doing like little bits at a time, and I had to match the rest of it because it would look weird. So I'm a little disappointed about that. But the rest of it, I think I'm pretty happy about, and I think she looks really cool. So I'm happy with this drawing, so I'm feeling good. And tomorrow will be halfway point, which I'm so excited about. This is the farthest I've ever gotten. So look forward to that. So thanks for watching. Bye!